I'm a fan of Project Moon games, particularly Library of Runettes. That's the only one I've played so far. But of course, as I discover more about the world of Project Moon and the fans and the crazy characters and everything, I've been very drawn to a lot of Mili's tracks. And now we have a new one, Hero from Limbus Company. I'm Corey Lawrence, also known as Everything Fancy on YouTube, and today we're going to be reacting / breaking down Hero by Mili. Let's get straight into it.
One, two, one, two, 3, 4.
Okay, first of all, why is it always the case that Mili tracks have this insanity to them? Think about From a Place of Love through Patches of Violet, Children of the City, there's always something. It makes me kind of really super clear on why Project Moon chooses to use Mili as their band pretty much at this point. Maybe there's some backstory to it that I don't know. But if you need crazy, wacky sounding, unusual track, Mili's your go-to. Okay, so far, if I recall, I heard a C, so I'm guessing we're in C major. There was the distorted vocals going 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that. But let's keep going. Okay, well, so as someone that hasn't played Limbus Company yet, I'm already getting quite an ironic feeling from this song. In the same way that, like, From a Place of Love, the sounds very, very happy, but if you know anything about Library of Runettes, is it really happy though? And I'm getting a very similar sensation from this. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is just genuinely happy. Or maybe it's not. Happy to just be a part of your story. I like the percussion. We have loud, quite ethnic sounding big percussion, quite cinematic. We have the strings in the background going like... Very jovial, very exciting so far. But we're still on what I'd describe as verse 1 for now. Okay, I'm hearing very, very similar chordal structures to From a Place of Love. I heard something like a... that kind of descending line, although From a Place of Love does it slightly differently. It goes... It's really, really similar on so many levels. If you want ironic, slightly twisted track, Mili is your go-to. We have a kind of recapitulation or a kind of repeat of the intro. I'm describing this bit as a link. So for me, I interpret the structure as intro, verse, chorus, a kind of post-chorus. And now we're going to a link, and I imagine we're going to go back into a verse. I mention all of this purely because Mili tracks typically don't follow a very stereotypical structure. In fact, I don't usually have to call something a pre-chorus. Other things I think stand out so far is the drum pattern, which actually sounds... I don't think it's a pattern that I've heard in many Mili songs before yet. I think I heard something like a kind of pattern to it, which is really cool sounding. I actually really like it. There's filtering on the percussion. Filtering is simply when you remove either the high end or the low end from an instrument, and that creates this kind of like background, kind of like you're on the phone sort of call to the sound. There we go, we have the twisted section. We've now changed key, but changed key in a really, really subtle way that's really interesting. So typically when we think of key changes, we think of movements from, I don't know, something like a C major to maybe something like a D minor. But we actually have a key change from C major to C minor, where now we're in 1, 2, 2. I'm starting to notice, as someone that's gradually listening to more and more Mili tracks, I'm noticing these sort of tropes and trends that they tend to use. One of them is a huge structural thing. These kind of dramatic, sudden shifts in either key, mood, tonality, anything like that is kind of like the staple of a Mili track at this point. One thing that Mili always does excellently is the use of sound design, sound effects. I hear quite a bit of pitch shifting, a lot of reverb and delay, those kind of ghostly voices in the background, the huge echo on Who Am I that's happening. I've also, now listening to this minor section again, we hear that descending line that's almost identical to From a Place of Love. It sounded like this. Where does that sound familiar? It's hard to put that in an amicable sentence. Wow. I'm kind of wondering, actually, a bit of a side note, is there some sort of relationship between Library of Ruin and Limbus Company? Maybe, maybe not. Who knows at this point? At least I don't know, as someone that hasn't played Limbus Company yet. Okay, what's going on? I was not expecting that. Let's just listen to a bit. I'm confused. I'm confused. What do I even say at this point? It's just getting ridiculous in the best, most Mili way possible, in the most Library of Ruinist of Limbus Companyist type ways possible. We just had a massive speed up where, you know what? Funnily enough, the thing that I actually found most interesting from that is the drums. The drums started like doing a sort of like we suddenly became really jazzy all of a sudden. I'm so curious of what this is about. I'm loosely paying attention to the music. One person cannot pay attention to everything after all. And I'm really curious in the comments of what you'll make of the lyrics themselves, especially if you have some context. I will do my best to catch up with Limbus Company. There's a lot to get through. But yeah, I'm really curious of some level of interpretation behind the lyrics. And whether this has been heard in game yet as well, actually, given that this is quite new. Okay, so we have a sort of interlude section. I do this thing called song analysis, where every day I analyze songs, and from analyzing quite a few Mili songs at this stage, I always struggle to use conventional terms for structure, calling things verses, pre-chorus, choruses, links, etc, purely because there's always this one section in a Mili song that throws me off, and that was the section we just heard actually. Is that a bridge? Is it an instrumental? Not really. Is it kind of an interlude? Maybe. So instead, I kind of just call it section A, B, C, D, E. This is kind of like a section D now, if anything. And yeah, we go back to this link section with the 1, 2, 3. Even that sounds so familiar. Da 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 da. You'll always be villain. There's so many similarities with other Mili songs in a way that I actually quite like. There's such an identity to this band that I think is just so fantastic. Obviously, it fits the games incredibly well, but that sense of musical identity is always something that I look for in musicians and artists. It's something which I can latch onto in particular. I know when listening to a Mili song on some level that I know what to expect, but what I'm expecting is to be blown away, and that's always what happens. Because now we have this sort of more melodramatic section with a violin sort of doing... Okay, I've just realized something again. So now we have a bit of a... We have... That is, again, really eerily similar to From a Place of Love again. It's almost the reverse, like From a Place of Love in the section where it goes, though I enjoyed it all, duh. It goes descending line up until an A, and this kind of instead goes up towards the F. I'm probably way off, admittedly, but I'm starting to wonder even more if there's any kind of correlation. Maybe they were just going for a similar feeling. That could very well be it. But there's just so many similarities in the music. But then I also see similarities with other tracks from Mili as well. I hear a bit of, what is the name of the track? The name escapes me. The track you hear at the very end of Library of Ruina, related to a certain Black Silence.
I am my biggest
Gone Angels, I've now remembered.
fan. I am my enemy and my friend. Gonna prove my version of justice is more just than yours. Remaining on this stage, I am the only one. I am my biggest fan. I am my biggest fan. I am my enemy and my friend.
I love the interplay of the cello and the violin at the very end, almost doing kind of counter melodies to the main vocals that are going da 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 da. I'm also starting to pay a little bit more attention to the lyrics as well. That phrase at the very end that I found really, really interesting. I am my biggest fan. I am my enemy and my friend. I really want to know what this is about. I guess I'm going to have to play Limbus Company and find out for myself. But it is really interesting. Always huge props to the band and particularly the instrumentalist, as well as Cassie Way, who's just incredible. Her vocals just work. That's the only way I can describe it, in the sense of, if you took her out and swapped out any other amazing singer, in some ways it just doesn't work as well anymore. There's something so rich and pure and soft about her voice that kind of fits tracks which try and go for this melancholic, happy, sad, all at the same time. And I feel like her voice works so perfectly to achieve that effect and that tone. I'm really enjoying this. I know that I'm going to listen to this quite a lot. And I know that this is one of those songs that is now encouraging me to actually start playing Limbus Company. But it is really impressive. The lyrics are something I really want to pay attention to as well. If anybody has their own interpretations in the comments, definitely let me know. And if you have any other suggestions of tracks to analyze, whether it's from a Project Moon game, from Mili, or completely something else entirely, definitely let me know. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and take care.